My winter sleeping bag is huge, which is why you're seeing my backpack look so big. So I'm out here on Crown Land and I'm going to do a little bit of a bushcraft camp out today. I have my backpack with my sleeping kit and my cooking kit. I have my tarp and some pegs, and I have the forest all to myself. I brought my buddy Herb with me to keep me company. You might remember Herb from our bike tour on the Icefields Parkway. He's going to be keeping me company while I'm out here alone in the woods. The river's definitely not frozen yet, so I'm walking over these logs to get across because there's a couple dead trees over there that I'm looking at taking down. Got a nice standing dead tree right here. It's a really warm day today. I'm already hot. I do like to follow the tree in the direction it's already leaning, and I knew that I had this dead fallen tree in my way, but the plan is to just kind of cut it at the halfway so both halves of this one come down. It's longer than I thought. I have to cut this again. Yes. Ooh, that was a lot of work. But I got the whole tree down, and now I just gotta lug it across the river to my campsite. I just know there's gonna be bugs in my hair. Oopsie daisy. My logs. I wasn't strong enough to throw the logs across the stream without them getting wet, and that's my firewood, so I had to carry them across. I did weigh the risk of me doing that. I know that the river, the stream is like very shallow, and I have extra socks in case I was to fall in. We did get all the logs across. Now that I have my firewood, I'm finding some fat wood. I'm looking for fat wood because the sap and the resin inside the fat wood is very flammable, and that's going to help me start my fire. Okay, there's a great example right here. It's easy to find fat wood when you look for like broken little nubs of branches like this, because when the tree is broken or like injured, it'll send all the sap and resin into the broken spot to protect itself from like disease or parasites or whatever. That little chunk of wood is going to be super resinous, and the resin is very flammable, which is what we want. That smells really good. That smells so good. So you can even see the sap basically dripping down the front of this, and this really warm orange color tells me that it's pretty saturated, so that's good. a lot of you are probably familiar with what this is. This is a bear resistant bag. So basically you seal it up, you tie it to a tree, and I believe it's like Kevlar or something that bears can't get into. Keeps your food safe from bears and smaller mammals and rodents and things overnight or when you're away from camp. So I put off getting one of these for a number of years because when I'm at actual campsites, they usually have bear boxes, and when I'm not, I would just be like hanging my food in the trees. Hanging food though has proven to be a pain in my butt over the years because especially in the area that I live, we don't have the kind of trees that allow you to hang a bear bag properly. When you hang a bear bag, it's supposed to be 15 feet from the ground, 5 feet from the trunk of the tree. And as you can see, everything around me is lodgepole pines, which are straight, thin, have very short, tiny branches. I did finally invest in the Ursac. Obviously not sponsored because I paid for it, but I'm using it for the first time today. And I'm hiking this a bit of a ways away from camp so that it's not near my sleeping area. And we just have to find a thick enough tree. The tree has to be a big enough diameter so that the bear can't get through it. Ta-da! This is very important where I live because we are in grizzly bear country and black bear country. This guy. I don't know how I didn't see that when I was walking in, but I'm going to cut this down. These standing dead trees in your camp are called widowmakers because they can squish you in the middle of the night should they fall or should a gust of wind blow them over. It is a dead tree. I'm not harming any of the living trees around here. So we're going to be taking that down for safety and for firewood. I cut a notch in my tree facing that way because I want it to fall that way, but it has a bit of a lean that way. So I'm going to stay on the side. So either way it decides to fall, I'm going to get out of the way really fast, but I'm hoping I can get it to go in that gap over there. That was sick. Falling trees can obviously be very dangerous, and for that reason I don't like to go against the laws of gravity, but there were some trees on the other side that were alive that I didn't want to hit and have the tree land on, and it worked. I'm learning things. I feel like every time I come out in camp I learn more things, or I hopefully at least get better at one thing. So here's my tarp. This is going to be my shelter for the night. I brought the tarp, I brought paracord, and I brought pegs, and that's it. So I'm starting with a ridge line across these two trees. I'm going to tie a Siberian hitch on one end and a taut line hitch on the other end, and then I'm going to peg down the bottom end so that it's tight. So this here is my ridge line from this tree to this tree. I need blocks. Ooh, a metal crowbar, even better. I found this on my walk here. I'm trying to point the end into kind of a stake so I can stake it into the ground. Okay, bushcraft, look at this. Pointy. Ooh, that did take a long time though. I have this pegged down into the ground, this wrapped around the stick, this tied to my tarp, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm basically just tying a clove hitch around the pegs before I nail them into the ground. And then popping some rocks on top of the peg just to seal it in. Cute. So this is it from the back. The weather's supposed to be beautiful tonight. We don't have any wind or rain or anything on the forecast, so this should work just fine. This is it from the inside. Let me get her all cozy in there. I'm not even taking the time to pack up nicely because I just want to get out of here. Okay, goodbye to the campsite that once almost was. I don't think I left anything. Barely got everything in my bag because I didn't like fold everything properly. I'm just trying to get out of here. I have half my stuff in my food bag. It's gonna be okay. He's not here right now. Like, this is where he pulled out to, and he literally took a look at me and turned around and pulled out. But I know it was the same car. It was like a white SUV with a bag over the back of his window, and he turned around and I saw that same bag. So yeah, I'm fucking out of here. Even if that guy didn't mean any harm and he was just trying to camp here, I don't like when somebody knows where I'm camping when I'm by myself. Like, I want to be hidden and unseen, and I don't want some man to know that I'm alone in the woods. I'm coming back to my van. Okay. Back of the van. That was a mad dash. Luckily it's not dark out just yet, so I'm gonna head home. I don't like driving in the dark, but like, even in the van, I don't really want to sleep out here. Okay, let's get out of here. Backing out of here is low-key gonna be hard because I went out of my way to tuck my car into the woods so that it wouldn't be seen if that guy or anybody else drove past, and now I'm like gonna have to reverse out over the roots and stuff, which sucks. Okay. Me this morning thought this would be like a tomorrow me problem, but you know what, I'm capable. I wish I didn't do that, but that's fine. That was a big bump. Okay. Big bummer. Okay, I'm gonna pull out of here and like regroup in a sec. Just to explain what just happened there. This morning I got here pretty early, and and I pulled out to the spot that I thought was going to be my spot for the night. And I was getting my bag packed, getting ready to leave the car, when this white SUV pulled up and this guy walked out, and he walked up to my campsite, or where my car was parked, and he was like, hey, me and my girlfriend were here this morning and I left something, I'm just going to go look for it. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But I wanted to wait inside the van until he got back out of the woods and left, so that I knew he wasn't like still out there and that he wouldn't know where I was going to hike to. So I was waiting in the car for like a while, and it started to get suspicious that he was like out in the woods for that long. And so I walked up to his car, first of all to get the license plate, but also to see if his girlfriend was actually in there. But the windows were like heavily tinted to the point that I couldn't even see in. But I walked like up and around the car, so I would assume if the girlfriend was in there, she would have like saw me and been like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? So I walked around the car, I couldn't see if there was someone inside. I got the license plate and I went back to my car, and I just got a bad feeling from that. So I drove my van up to another campsite. I don't like, even if that man meant no harm, like I don't like when somebody, especially a man, knows where I am when I'm in the woods alone, or knows that I'm in the woods alone in the first place. Obviously my boyfriend always knows where I am and where I'm going, but when I'm out here, I don't like bumping into people, especially if it's just a guy on his own, because then he knows that I'm alone and he knows where I am and he knows that I'm vulnerable in the woods. I don't like that. So I was already on edge all day debating if I even wanted to camp out, but I basically, like I said, I drove my van all the way to a new spot. I hid it in the trees and I hiked like away from my van, so I wasn't even on the same trail as I was like parked near. And then the rest of the day went fine. The sky was beautiful, the weather was great, I was having a great time out there, got a lot done. And then like 4 p.m. rolls around and I see that same car. I know it was the same car because when I looked at the license plate, I saw his back window was gone and he just had like a garbage bag over it. And I saw a white SUV pull up in the distance, and then I saw it like stop where I'm pretty sure he saw me, and then he turned around and left, and as he was leaving I saw that like garbage bag on the back. I was very uneasy, like why did I see that man twice? Why did I never see his girlfriend that he mentioned? Why was he driving around a bunch of different campsites all day? I also don't like the vibe I got from him in the first place, and I just needed to get out of here. But that does really bother me because it sucks that I can't just come out here and have a good time. Like I have to be worried about some creepy man wandering around at night. I like being a girl. Don't get me wrong. I love being a woman. I love femininity. But there are times in life I wish I was a man so that I didn't have to feel this type of way. Like, I already get nervous and kind of scared every time I come out and camp alone, but I usually just work through it because usually it's all in my head. Usually I just have to be strong and be brave and like work through those nerves and that fear. But then there's sometimes I've been traveling or times like this where like that fear is so validated and so justified, and it really annoys me that like I have to feel that way. If Jet was here, my boyfriend, if he was here, that's a different story, obviously. But yeah, just being here alone, I can't risk it. The other thing is like I'm gonna feel nervous coming back here. Like I love this camping spot and I've come to this area a lot, and it's shitty that now I have to like think twice before I ever come here again. I have to find a new spot, which is also annoying. Like, not to be negative, this channel is supposed to be positive, good vibes, so like sorry for the rant there. Obviously if you're seeing this, I survived. But yeah, like now where am I gonna go camp? I have my bear spray, I have knives, but like I don't have firearms. I don't have anything like that could easily, like if I bear spray someone, I'm getting probably maced too. So like it's not the best option, you know? Okay, I'm gonna drive home. I'm gonna stop yapping. I'm just gonna drive home. Day well spent, I guess. Of course the sunset is like so beautiful right now. At least I can appreciate that.